Hello and welcome to the 52 Coffees podcast. I'm Cindee Williams. I'm your host, and I am just thrilled that you are here with me today. You know, this journey, this 52 Coffees journey, it started with a personal challenge. For 1 year, I decided that I was going to meet one new woman every week that I didn't know. It couldn't be my mom, it couldn't be my sister, it couldn't be my best friend, somebody I didn't know. And I was going to take her out to coffee. My only goal was I wanted to not know her story. Everyone has a story. I wanted to know her story, and I wanted to find a way to add value to her work, to her faith, to her life. It was 2020. We needed that. We needed connection. And I know that I did as well. So, what happened was something way more powerful than I expected. It totally transformed my life. And I'm here to share with you that journey because I know it can do the same for you. And I told myself that if I ever started a podcast, I would have to name it the 52 Coffees Podcast because it's so transformational. So go ahead, grab a cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is that you drink, and let's chat for a bit. And I want you to remember first that 52 Coffees is brought to you by Lead My Life. And that's a dynamic community and coaching platform for women who are just ready to take the lead in their own lives. I want you to visit us at leadmylife.com to find out more. But today, we're going to talk about something special. We're going to talk about rediscovering purpose, rediscovering you in midlife. Why this next season, why your next season matters. Okay, friends, today's episode is one that I know is going to hit home for so many of us. Rediscovering purpose in midlife. I mean, it's that season where life, it shifts. It does, right? We can't ignore it. The kids are growing up, the house gets quieter, and suddenly we're left asking, who am I now? Who am I? I've been there. I've done that. Actually, I'm still doing it. Midlife is this beautiful, beautiful opportunity for transformation, but that doesn't mean it comes without a little confusion or even a lot and some growing pains, right? It's a transition season and it's okay. We're going to dig into all of that today. And I'm going to share some of my favorite insights, some practical steps with you that I hope will really help, and some of my own personal stories on my own personal empty nest midlife journey. So the three main takeaways. What I want you to walk away from this podcast today is how our identity shifts from caretaker or caregiver to purpose driven. So you could say care driven to purpose driven. Next, uncovering your hidden passions. What are you good at? And here's a little bonus. If you're curious about who you are beyond those familiar roles, right? We're going to talk about the DISC behavioral assessment because trust me, it's like a personality GPS. And you're going to want this after we're done talking about it. So if you're interested, I'd love to invite you just to book a clarity call with me. Let's talk. Let me help you dig into your own DISC profile. So let's get into it right now. Are you ready? Okay, takeaway number one, redefining our identity and learning to embrace change. Redefining our identity. Okay, that's a big one, right? And when I stepped into midlife, when I stepped into being an empty nest mom, I really found myself wondering who I really was outside of being a mom, outside of being a wife, outside of being a chauffeur and a cook and a counselor and all the hats that I had been wearing for the last 25 years. Have you ever felt like that? I realized I needed to get to know me in just kind of an all new way. And that's when I first discovered the DISC behavioral assessment. Now I know DISC, it sounds like, something that you might find on your computer if you're in your 50s like me, or maybe like frisbee golf or something like that, but it's different. Stay with me here. So DISC, it actually stands for dominance, a type of personality, influence or influencer, which is another personality type, steadiness, and conscientious or compliant. It's a way to understand how your brain, how your mind is wired, your natural strengths, and how you prefer to connect with others. I think that's so important right now, especially as we go into the holiday season and we're going to be connecting with a lot of people. Having this disc in your back pocket could be so helpful. So I remember sitting down with my results for the first time and thinking, oh, my gosh, this all makes sense to me now. It turns out I have a lot of steadiness and influence in my profile, which means I'm naturally people oriented. I'm naturally supportive. And let's be honest, I love to chat. Finding that out and seeing that on a 32-page report, it gave me insight and it helped to start seeing myself not just in roles of what I do, the hats that I wear, but really in terms of who God made me to be. And it changed things. I started being able to communicate differently with my husband, with my adult kids, and even the new friends that I was meeting in my 52 Coffees challenge. It really started changing me. It made me more aware instead of wondering, why people don't get me, why are conversations falling flat, why am I having a hard time keeping the ball rolling in a conversation. I began to just really lean into who I was and let others do the same. So just a fun example, my husband Todd, he is more on the compliant nature, the conscientious. In his profile, this means he loves details and he loves accuracy. He can research what kind of tires to put on our car for months before he does it. So he tends to be super thorough, especially when it comes to decisions. So meanwhile, I'm here in my influencer mode, in my steadiness mood, saying, okay, let's just go for it. I'm a little bit more impulsive. Let's just make the decision. Let's do it. We're on. Now, knowing that about myself, instead of driving each other crazy, we can laugh about it a little bit more. And actually, we've learned to see how we can balance each other out. Could you see how that could help you in your marriage with your spouse or in your relationships with your kids? John Maxwell says that the most important conversations you will ever have are the ones that you have with yourself. That one hits kind of deep, doesn't it? Self-awareness opens the door to growth in our life. And when we're growing, we're leaning into our purpose. When that growth stops, stagnation starts to happen. Okay, takeaway number 2. Here's the big one for many of us. It's the shift, right? Can you feel it? Can you feel the ground shifting? For years, we focus on taking care of everyone else. And there comes a point when we're called to step into our purpose more fully. And let me be honest, I really struggled with this. I thought, am I being selfish? This guilt was real for me. But here's what I learned. Finding our own purpose in this season is not only freeing, it's an incredible example of courage and faith for our families. Think about what we're doing for our daughters. Think about what we're doing for our sons when we step into our purpose and show them how to be strong and do that too. I'll never forget one of my coffee conversations with a woman who told me how torn she felt between helping her grown kids and pursuing her own dreams. We laughed about it and we cried and we came to this beautiful realization together that stepping into our purpose honors God's unique calling on our life. And when we do this, when we step into our purpose, we actually inspire our loved ones to do the same. They see us being courageous. They see us being strong. They see us leading the way and they want to do it too. One of my mentors, Barbara, says, your purpose is not found in someone else's comfort. It's found in your own calling. Ooh, that's powerful. When I stopped feeling guilty for following my own passions, I found joy that I could bring back to my family, my community, my work. And hey, I want that for you too. Are you ready to discover that for yourself? All right, takeaway number 3, uncovering your hidden passions and crafting a purposeful plan. This is the fun part. This is discovering those hidden passions. And I'm going to tell you they're only hidden because we've kind of shoved them under the rug for a long time. My 52 Coffees Challenge, I didn't really have a big plan for it. I just knew I wanted and I needed to connect with other women. I wanted and needed to hear their stories, and hopefully maybe I could offer a bit of encouragement to them. Every conversation was like this treasure hunt. I met a woman who shelved their passions for decades, took their dreams, their gifts, and boxed them up with a big bow and put them on a back shelf. And it would remind me how God has given each one of us unique dreams and talents for a reason. He has placed a calling on our life for a reason, and it's not to sit by the sidelines. And that's why I'm so excited to share something special with you. I have an upcoming workshop, and it's called Beyond the Vision Board. This season of you in 2025. And it's not your typical dream big kind of vision board and put a bunch of magazine clippings on a poster board and then putting it on your wall and calling it abstract art. No, 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 no. We're going deeper. We're crafting a purposeful plan that aligns with who you are and what God is calling you to do. We'll create goals, milestones, and set new habits around those to help 2025 become a year that truly reflects your purpose. I got the opportunity recently to hear Tamara Lowe speak, and she said this: you don't need to be more talented. You just need to be more intentional. So true. Intentionality, that's the key, isn't it? God doesn't expect us to have it all figured out. He just asks us to show up and then to trust him. And when we're intentional, we're making space for him to lead us. We're saying, okay, Lord, I commit this to you. I release this to you. I'm intentional. I'm going to be here. I'm not turning back. The only way I know is forward. Show me how. So, my friends, if you've been feeling that nudge, that little whisper saying, hey, there's more for you in this season of life, take it seriously. Don't squash it. Don't put it on the back burner. Midlife is a beautiful time to step into purpose with boldness and with joy and with a new awakening. And if you're curious about your DISC behavior profile or just need clarity on where to start in this midlife journey, I'd love to invite you to book a clarity call with me. Together, we'll go through how to take a DISC assessment, schedule a DISC strategy session, and talk about your unique strengths and map out a plan for stepping in to your God given purpose. To schedule your clarity call, just head over to leadmylife.com and you can book it there. Hey, if you liked having coffee with me today, if you liked what we were talking about today, if you want to create a path that feels true to you, subscribe to this. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at I'm Cindee Williams. Follow me on Facebook. I want to start a connection with you. I want to see you discovering your journey, connecting and stepping boldly into the purpose that God has for you and God has for me. So until next time, my friends, remember, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Grab your coffee, embrace this season, and let's lead our lives with intention. God bless you all, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to comment below if you like this or hit subscribe button. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, my friends. Bye.